Welcome to Rock Solid Radio. I'm Linda Hutchinson, the Executive Director of Rock Solid Families.
And I'm Merrill Hutchinson, President of Rock Solid Families. And we are excited to have you join us as we talk all things faith, family, and fitness. A special thanks to Maxwell Construction and Mansfield Insurance Agency for their support of Rock Solid Radio, building a stronger community one family at a time.
Welcome to Rock Solid Radio. I am Linda Hutchinson, the Executive Director of Rock Solid Families, and we are coming to you in the middle of this wonderful coronavirus.
When's it going to end?
Hey, you got a good project going on in the basement, so you're busy.
I know. Actually, I could buy a little more time,
exactly.
But I'm not complaining.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we don't know when you're listening to this or how you're listening to this, but we welcome you. And we have a special guest today, hon, that we're excited about sharing some information.
Yes, we do. And not just a special guest, but a very special ministry.
Yep.
And so we want to spend some time talking about that and just what these fine folks do and where they center their energy and focus. But I really don't want to pop the cork yet, right? So we want to run a few commercials and everything, and then we'll get into it. So once we get going, we don't have to stop, okay?
Yeah. So before we do get into our special guest today, we want to thank our sponsors, especially during this crazy time. We want to thank Mansfield Insurance Agency, who has built a reputation in business on caring, listening, and protecting their customers. Mansfield Insurance Agency began in 1981 by Jim Mansfield and is dedicated to serving individuals and businesses in Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. So if you have any insurance needs, please call Mansfield Insurance Agency at 1-800-230-3927.
All right, very good. We also want to thank Maxwell Construction. Maxwell Construction was founded in 1988 by John Maxwell. Since that time, Maxwell Construction has grown and expanded to become among the most recognized commercial construction companies in the tri-state area. What separates Maxwell Construction apart from their competition is their emphasis on being service-oriented to help meet the individual needs of their customers. So whether it's a school, hospital, restaurant, apartment, or retail center, Maxwell Construction is able to meet your needs. Call Maxwell Construction today at 812-537-2200.
Yeah, we're just so grateful for both those businesses, very huge community partners that have just supported not just Rock Solid Families, Rock Solid Radio, but a lot of agencies and nonprofits in our community. So we're thankful for them.
Yeah, we are especially thankful. During this time, our business has been deeply cut just because it's difficult to see people. So we're doing some Zoom calls and stuff, but just the revenue stream has slowed. Yeah. But our sponsors have signed on with us and committed to us. So that means a lot to us. So we want to especially thank them for that.
Yeah. Speaking of Zoom, we're zooming in today on our special guest.
Let's get to work.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So without further ado, we would like to welcome today from Lawrenceburg Pregnancy Care Center, Kayla Griffin, the director.
Hello.
Kayla, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. So again, we're doing this by way of Zoom. So if there's a little delay here or there or a hitch in this, listeners, just excuse us and let's get to what really this is all about.
Yeah. Kayla, how are you surviving in this lovely quarantine time? You got kiddos.
You know, at the first 2 weeks, I thought I was going to kill everyone in the house. But
this is being recorded now. You remember that.
But since those 2 weeks, I have now, it's just a whole new different way of life that I'm like learning to really love. And, just being able to be home with my kids every day. And my son's 1.5 years. So I actually get to like see him grow up in front of my eyes and, versus me going to work, my husband going to work, my kid, Eva going to school, him going to the babysitter. It's like, we all get to just, it's just like that, that pause in life where you just get to watch each other grow up. So honestly, I'm at the point now where I love it. The only thing I don't like is not being able to really see my family.
Yeah.
It is weird. And I'm almost worried about putting more things back on the calendar when this is over. It's like you really start to wonder what is really important enough to put back on that calendar.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
That is so true.
We talk a lot about family mealtime and stuff like that, just the importance of it because it's the type of conversation that happens around the table. And honestly, we talk about it, but especially during sports seasons and stuff, our family can be one of the worst at trying to balance that. And the idea that we've been able to have those kind of conversations every evening, there's a difference that's coming about from this.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've talked about is, what do you want to continue to do after Corona? That at first you didn't like, but now, like you said, the first 2 weeks were difficult, but now you're getting into this groove of appreciation of a different and maybe better lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if I want lunch and dinner though.
Yeah. We don't need 3 meals.
There was somebody posted something the other day about, the one thing I want to do is just eat as many Mexican like tortilla chips and salsa as I can. And I would say that that's probably like my one wish, is just to go into like a Mexican restaurant and just eat a bunch of chips and salsa, and then I'd be fine.
Yeah. But you do have carry out, so you can, it's just not the same though.
It's not the same. So I definitely think that it is a completely different lifestyle, but I think it's something that I don't know, me myself, that I'm really starting to enjoy, and making life a lot simpler.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel like it's brought our family together through it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, hey, let's move in and talk a little bit about Pregnancy Care Center. You'll hear us refer to it as PCC, right? And your Pregnancy Care Center that you're involved with is located off of Route 50 outside of Lawrenceburg, sometimes referred to as Lawrenceburg or Dearborn PCC, Dearborn County PCC. Kayla, how long has the Pregnancy Care Center been around?
So the Pregnancy Care Center has been around for a little over 30 years now. So it started back in 1989. There was a few people that kind of got together and saw that there was, some women who were pregnant and were really worried about meeting the needs of their soon-to-be children. So they got together and decided to ask for diaper donations, wipe donations, things like that, to be able to help support these moms that might be a little worried about providing for their children. So it actually started in the basement of Shady Nook nursing home in Lawrenceburg. And it just kind of flourished from there to now we have, a very nice space, and we're able to provide so many different services for men and women now. So
how many clients do you see a year? How many families or women? Or
well, last year we served about 600 for the total year, but already so far this year we've served almost 200 people.
Wow.
So we're on a rate to. We were on a rate to double last year's, but it's definitely slowed down with, having our center closed. But
so when you talk about serve, Kayla, what does service look like for Pregnancy Care Center? What is being served? What are the resources? When people come to you, what can they expect?
Yeah, so people come to us in all different situations. Some people come to us who are pregnant, and that's kind of, I would say that's what most people feel is the best time to come to us, is when they're pregnant. So if we're talking about a pregnant woman, they typically come to us when they just find out, and we usually do a pregnancy test on them first, just to verify that she is pregnant, indeed pregnant. And then after that, we do an ultrasound, and we usually try to schedule an ultrasound around 8 weeks. And that's to check that the baby's in the uterus where it's supposed to be, that it does have a heartbeat. And it gives us a chance to do a quick head to rump link to get a better idea about how far along she is or how long she is pregnant. And then after that, we really encourage them to get into our parenting classes. And the parenting classes help them just prepare how to be great parents. And a lot of times I don't think there's ever anything that will truly prepare you to be a parent.
Nope.
But these classes do a really good job of, getting you ready for things like labor and delivery and behaviors even after the child is born. On her end, things like postpartum depression, or learning your baby's cries and how to comfort them. So those parenting classes are great, and it gives them the opportunity to earn what we call baby bucks. And those baby bucks they can use in our boutique. So we provide material assistance as well. So they can get things like diapers, wipes, formula, bottles, clothes, pretty much anything that they would need necessity-wise to take care of their child. And then we also do that for our men too. So the dads get an opportunity to learn how to, I would say the best way to put it is learn how to be a good dad, but also learn how to be a good companion for her throughout her pregnancy and understanding what she's going through. And they get to earn baby bucks as well. So he can shop, she can shop, or he can just give all the points to her and let her shop. I know that tends to kind of be the route that a lot of the guys take, but yeah. And then definitely referral services. So, people come into us for all kinds of different things. So, being pregnant is just kind of the surface issue. Sometimes to people like, oh my goodness, I'm pregnant. And well, it's because they don't have a job. They may not have housing. They don't have insurance. Maybe food is an issue. So, we really try to connect them with other resources and organizations within the community to help them, in different areas of their lives as well.
Okay. I have a couple questions that come to mind. So are there doctors there at the Pregnancy Care Center, or is this more of a social resource place?
Yeah, there's no doctors. Our organization is, we do operate under a medical director. So Dr. Daniel Barkdahl with High Point Health, he is our medical director. So everything that we do medical wise is done under his observation. And then we also have a radiologist, Dr. Bruns with Margaret Mary Hospital. He looks over all of our ultrasound scans that we do, just to review them and make sure, because we do have an RDMS that does our ultrasounds. So he just reviews those and makes sure that there's nothing that was missed and that everything looks well with the baby. But no, it's not a place for a woman to really seek OB care, as you hear. And it's not a place to deliver babies, anything like that. Yeah. It's really just kind of that first place to come and give either the woman some assurance that yes, she is pregnant, or that everything looks good. Because I would say a lot of women that come to us don't have insurance or don't have a doctor, and they really just kind of don't know what to do or where to go. And so our main goals is to get them connected with an OB/GYN doctor that can help them throughout their pregnancy. And, if there's any type of complications or issues that arise, we definitely want them to go to the hospital or urgent care, or to contact their doctor.
Is there paid, are these services cost? Is there a payment for those services you offer?
No. Everything that we do is free to the cost of our clients. So we are a nonprofit organization, and we run solely off donations and grants. So everything that we provide to the people in our community is completely free to them.
Wow, what a resource. And so if you're out there listening to this podcast today, maybe you don't live in Lawrenceburg, Indiana area, Dearborn County area, but there are pregnancy care centers all over the country that are here to help you if you find yourself with a pregnancy that you're unprepared to carry or to care for that child. Or even if you have, Kayla, you're not just dealing with pregnant moms, right? You're dealing with new moms who have already had a child, right?
Yeah, we have some moms that have, 3 or 4 children. And, some of them, most of the items and materials that we have at our center is typically up to about 2 or 3 years old. So that's kind of our cutoff, but there are several women that come in that have, newborn babies, or a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old that they need support with. So
yeah, you don't want to be the best kept secret in Dearborn County. You want information to get out there. And so we do hope that this podcast is helping to spread that information about your presence in Dearborn County, Indiana, or the awareness of pregnancy centers around the country, because it is a need. It's a huge need, and it's definitely a cause to get involved in and get behind for our community.
Yeah, it is very hard for people sometimes, I think, to understand that there are organizations that are established in communities all over the world to help people, and that they really don't want anything in return from it. So I think it is a little baffling for some people when they do come across, organizations like a pregnancy care center or, the North Dearborn Food Pantry, things like that they just come across and they're like, okay, what's the catch?
Right.
And it's so neat to just say, we just want to help you. And we want to be those positive people in your life through this maybe not so positive
difficult
situation. Yeah.
So lots of great resources that are being offered, but let us go back a little bit to the time that we're in. So you were on target to see maybe an all-time high in terms of number of people seeking resources, and now that's been put to a halt with the COVID-19 quarantine. So are people able to still get resources? Are the doors open a little bit? What's going on there? How can they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah. So since our center is not like Walmart or Kroger, it's almost impossible to have more than maybe 5 people in there that can stay 6 feet apart. They just have to be like in different rooms. So we had to close our doors as far as providing like pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, any type of service that has to be held within our center, we have closed. But we definitely know that there are moms and dads out there who have got laid off or who have got fired, who are waiting on stimulus checks that haven't received them. And they're really in a panic mode of, and it's not, and I'm not just talking about, people that have no jobs. I'm talking about people that have had good jobs. And all of a sudden now they're like, what are we going to do? So, it gives these people that are kind of panicking right now one less thing to worry about. So, they can come to us. We do emergency visits right now, and I posted it at our office. So there is a number at our office. So if someone was to pull up, there is a sign that tells them what number to contact. But it's called our text line. And that is something that all of us ladies there have access to 24/7. And so what we've been encouraging people to do is that if they are in need of diapers, wipes, formula, clothes, blankets, whatever it may be through this time, to text us at our text line, since we don't actually have anybody physically in the office right now. So our text line that we have is 812-302-2887. And all that they have to do is just text that number and say, I'm in need of supplies for my child. And we text them right back and set up a date and time to meet them and give them the things that they need.
What if it is somebody, Kayla, who has not been a client of yours before, and had a good paying job, didn't need the services, but now they do? Is that still available to them?
Yep, we've had quite a few of those actually lately, that are new clients that have never met us, and it's really hard for them because some of them have never had to use assistance before, and it's really awesome to be able to help everyone, not just those that don't have jobs, but those that also maybe got their hours cut or maybe had to take a little bit of time off right now and are just trying to figure out how they're going to make ends meet and adjusting to this. So we've always encouraged that we're not just there for people that, are homeless or don't have jobs and stuff. We definitely serve those people, but anyone that needs assistance or help, we're always there for them.
Can you give us that text line again, just in case someone's out there going, oh, okay, that is for me?
Yeah, it's 812-302-2887.
All right. That's
And
really
typically I'll be the one to reply. So
yeah. So, Kayla, there's lots of resources that are available that you guys are helping to give out and that sort of thing. Um, is the Pregnancy Care Center, is it a faith-based organization, or you said it's a nonprofit business? So, and you said you're privately funded and that type of thing. Is it through churches? Is it through private donations? Is it through the government? What keeps your doors open? Because there's a lot of resources that we're talking about here.
yeah, so we are a Christian nonprofit organization, and we just cherish that so much. And it's not, we do have churches that help support us, but we have businesses, individuals that are very passionate about what we do, that have either been in the situation of some of the clients that we serve, or are just passionate about helping others. But we feel like our ultimate goal is to love all of our clients with the love of Christ, and meeting them where they are, and and leading them to Christ. And that's through many different areas. That's not saying that someone comes in and we're putting we're beating them over the head with a Bible. It's
Right.
just, how can we be the hands and feet of Christ, and loving people and helping people. And when the time comes and we do feel like we need to share Christ with people, we definitely do that, but we also try to make sure that we're doing it through our actions as well.
Yeah, that's just huge. I think, Linda and I being here with Rock Solid Families, we feel like the service of Christ is really the biggest message. And through our service, then you can get to people's hearts, right? Then you can start to share, well, why would you even do this?
Right.
Why would you provide this? Well, we provide it because we're called to do that, to serve. And it's really pretty cool that it is the Christian foundation that really was the beginning heartbeat of Pregnancy Care Center. And so a lot of times people are they question whether there's a God or Jesus or whatever. And it's like, I think you guys are a perfect example of what working for Christ is really all about. It's not, like you said, it's not banging people over the head with the Bible. It's just going out and doing the work.
Loving people through
Loving people. And I like what you said before. This is not just for a certain clientele or certain group of people. You're out to serve anybody who needs the help, right? Anybody who walks through your door and asks. So that's just pretty cool. And I appreciate that you stand for that. And I think sometimes I like the idea that you said this. Yeah, churches, not one particular church, but churches can donate and support PCC, but also it sounds like businesses, private individuals, and anybody who believes in the service that is being provided.
Yeah, because I don't think we can argue that helping others is something that a lot of people can get involved in. And with us being a Christian organization, we just take it seriously, that if it wasn't for God's love and grace and Jesus's love for us, where would we be? So we are just thankful for him and all that he's done for us in our lives, and we just want to share that with others. So
what we love about Pregnancy Care Center is not only you're meeting physical needs of diapers, wipes, formula, but what's something that's really important to us here at Rock Solid is the emotional support and the needs of your clients and their families. And so that's why we're involved. That's why we've partnered with you and so many different things, because we believe in that's important too, that to give them that emotional support and encouragement, to offer them hope and the opportunity to choose life. Those are things that we value here at Rock Solid Families, and we know that those are important at Pregnancy Care Center as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't not say something about the dad's program that you have there. I am involved with that a little bit for our listeners, just so you know. So, and the reason why I'm involved in that is because it really came from our ministry at Rock Solid Families. And one of the big foundation stones for me in particular, was the need to go after dads, to bring dads back into the fold, to understand the importance of dads. And we've lived in a culture now where dads have been kind of pushed off to the side, and many of them have accepted that and just get out of the way. And knowing about the Pregnancy Care Center, we see how many women walk through those doors that really are not strongly connected to not a man, but the father of this child. And so that was sort of the prompting in my heart to say, these are guys that we need to get. We need to get. Now, again, if it's a bad situation or there's abuse or whatever, no, we're not going to try to bring that man in there and put the lady or the child at risk. But from my point of view, the idea that Pregnancy Care Center was willing to say, let's do something for dads, because dads are half the equation, I think is so huge. And as you said before, Linda, I think you said it, the idea that, we don't want to keep this a secret of all the resources that pregnancy care offers. But one of the resources, and it is a bit of a secret, is what is offered to men. Right. And Kayla, you had mentioned that too, that we can help men. And so hopefully any of our listeners that are out there, if you know of a young man who is, maybe he didn't have good mentoring or good fatherhood experiences, and he's just kind of in over his head. And so, he doesn't really know where to begin. Please check out Pregnancy Care Center, and specifically ask for resources for men, because, we have a great group of guys down there that just come in and put their head down and go every day, even though, sometimes it's not the most exciting thing because you just don't know who's going to walk in that day, but they're ready to help young men. So
and I think it's important to, and I think it's important too, to add that these aren't men that went out and got their psychology degrees or social worker degrees or anything like that. They are men that are just passionate about helping other men, and that have just come in and said, I want to volunteer and I want to help. So how can I help? So I think it's important to put that in there, because I think sometimes women are a lot easier, because we're like, I want to be a great mom. I want to learn about all this stuff, and I think with men, sometimes it's either I saw how my dad was and I want to be exactly like him, or I saw how my dad was and I don't want to be anything like him, and that's all that I need to know, is that I either don't want to be like my dad or I do want to be like my dad. And I'm just going to work on those areas. And, there's so many different aspects to being a dad and being a provider and being a husband, and that you can help prepare them for, instead of just trying to have to wing it when the time comes, and, there are things all the time that I, when I get the opportunity to kind of step in on the classes with the women, there are times where I'm like, wow, I wish that I would have known that. There's always things that I feel like I could have learned and been more prepared for. So I really like our classes. It gives the women time to even vent. Some of the women just come because it gets them out of the house for a couple hours. And some just come because they love hanging out with the other women. And I know our men that meet love coming to hang out with the other guys too. So it's just it's a great little family that we're.
So let's say that somebody's listening to this and they're not a young mom or a young dad, and they don't need the services of the Pregnancy Care Center, but they want to do something. They want to give back. They want to get involved. So what would be the best way, if that's the listener that's listening right now, to tell them?
Well, there's so many things that we always need help with, whether it's coming in to be an actual volunteer inside the center. So maybe it's cleaning, maybe it's, packing diapers for us. Maybe it's helping keep our baby boutique stocked and hanging up clothes. And, maybe they feel led to help out with a parenting class. Maybe they just feel like donating diapers or wipes or dropping stuff off. We have several people that check in with us regularly and say, are you in need of anything right now? And we'll say, yeah, we need some wipes. And they'll go on Amazon and deliver it to our doors for us, or they'll drop by and just knock on our door and we'll bring it in. So so we have people, some are financial givers, that donate monthly to help. So there's so many different ways to get involved. We even have some moms that have been clients of ours, that their kids, grow up and they take their stuff that is gently used and they redonate it back to the center as well.
So what is, like, I'm thinking financially, how do they actually go through the process of donating financially? Is there a donate button? Is there something they should mail to? How do they do that? Let's try to see if we can help out.
Yeah. So some people just mail in checks. And then we also on our website.
Can you give us the address?
Yes. So we suggest most people who are mailing checks to send it to our P.O. box, which is P.O. Box 4196. Lawrenceburg, Indiana 47025. That way, so we don't have checks sitting out in our regular mailbox. And then we also on our website, if you go to supportpccindiana.com, there is a donate button on there as well. And it also tells a lot about our organization and what we do and our services that we provide. It also updates people on our events, like our fundraisers, things like that. So so that's another way to do that as well.
All right.
And then we also have our fundraisers. We usually have 2 big fundraisers a year, so people can always attend those and learn more about our organization as well.
Yeah. Speaking of that, is the Life Walk going to happen this year with the COVID-19? Or is that on the table, off the table?
So we have, most of the time I'm usually like, cursing, social media and stuff. Like I'm like, but when you go through something like this, it makes you thank God that those things are there, because we've essentially taken our, physical Life Walk, where we usually meet and walk together and people come and donate, to a virtual online Life Walk. So we are able to create a fundraising page, and we've been using things like Facebook, emailing, to where we can reach out to people and say, hey, this fundraiser is still going on. We just can't meet physically like we would love to, but you can still donate online and reach out to others and get them to be a part of it as well.
So would they find that on supportpccindiana.com?
Yeah, you can also go to our Facebook page. There's a Pregnancy Care Center of Southeast Indiana page, and then we also have a Friends of the PCC, which is where most of our donors go to. It's called Friends of the PCC, and we have there's post on there that has links to our fundraiser page. Okay. And they can go on there and it will show them what our goal is, what percentage we're at, and then there's a donate button where they can actually give to the Life Walk itself.
Yeah. Well, your work is extremely important. It's the most valuable resource that we have. We have a friend that refers to all the little people as our future leaders. And the Pregnancy Care Center really believes that every child is going to be a leader of something, and every child is important and has great value. And so for that reason, there's really, in our minds, no excuse not to go out of our way to protect that valuable life. So we just want to thank you for the work that you do. We thank you for allowing us to be just involved and, trying to be a little extension of you guys when we can. So are there any last words that you would like to end with before we close out today?
Well, I just want to thank Rock Solid Families for being a resource as well. You guys are wonderful in the work that you do. And I think it's great, raising up, just strong families, strong marriages. So I just want to thank you guys for your work and what you do, because I know you guys are making a difference for people too.
Well, we definitely are trying, and all of it stems from the idea that we know Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way
That's
we
right.
know how to do any of this. So that's the inspiration there. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you, Kayla, so much for being with us, and take
You're
care.
very welcome.
And enjoy that time of peace, because it is coming to an end, and definitely want to keep that as an important priority that we don't lose after all this.
Yeah. My husband and I were sitting out on the back porch last night, and he said, it's sad to think that before, here in a little bit, that all of this will be a distant memory, and most of us will probably go back to the lifestyles we were living before. So I guess my encouragement is to take this time to just enjoy every bit of that you can with your family, and being with them, and being able to watch them grow, and connecting with them, and eating dinner together around the dinner table, and just to have hope and encouragement through all of this.
And hopefully we reevaluate what's really important to put back on our.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, thanks, Kayla, so much for being with us. Take care.
You're very welcome. Bye, guys.
See ya. Bye. All right, so we would like to wrap things up and just say again, thanks to our sponsors for helping us out and keeping things going. I want to thank Maxwell Construction and Mansfield Insurance Agency for coming alongside of Rock Solid Families. Remember, you can always reach out to us for any help that you need. Our number is 812-576-7625. So please, we are definitely open to help in any way that we can, and we're seeing our share of people to do that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Not face to face.
Yeah, and we're here just like Pregnancy Care Center of Southeast Indiana. We're here as a resource. And right now, during this month, we know that there's a lot of people out there in great need that don't have the financial resources. So right now, we're offering our services, our coaching services, no cost, no strings. So please call us if you're struggling and need some help. And again, we want to thank you for listening to Rock Solid Radio, building a stronger community, one family at a time. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Rock Solid Radio. For help or more information about what you've heard on today's show, contact us at rocksolidfamilies.org or call us at 812-576-ROCK. That's 812-576-ROCK. Again, a huge thanks to our sponsors, Maxwell Construction and Mansfield Insurance Agency. If you have questions you'd like answered on our show, or you want to chime in on something you heard, go to our Facebook page, Rock Solid Families. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of Rock Solid Radio. I'm Linda Hutchinson, and for my husband Merrill and I, thanks for tuning in to Rock Solid Radio, building a stronger community, one family at a time.